The case over on Rumble, of course. Unpause and then repause. Don't want any problems with having to see additional pictures of ourselves. Ugh, I do own a mirror. But yeah, we've got a couple of news topics we're going to cover today. Mostly this will be a Bant stream. But we do have to talk about Hunter Biden and his absolutely deranged interview the other day. And also Trump in general. Got an article here from the New York Post. Miranda Devine, Trump wins the Epstein battle. I have maybe a little bit of a different take on this particular topic. I don't know that he has won the Epstein battle. Generally speaking, the Democrats are fucking it up. That's generally speaking. But Trump could be responding to it in a bit of a better manner. Let's put it that way. I talked about that this morning, actually, not without good reason. So, Clankers, I see you are here. And also, we're going to be talking about Freddy Got Fingered. I'm sure that will be big in the chat today. I did finally watch it. So, to Copium and Sigil and others who said I should watch it, I did. I especially like the sausage scene, where the dude's like, completely flipped his lid and he's playing on a keyboard with strings attached to his hands and there's sausages dangling around. It's like, Daddy, would you like a sausage? And the movie was fucked up, but it's fucked up in a good way. For those of you that didn't watch Freddy Got Fingered, imagine that Clockwork Orange was paired with I don't know, Pineapple Express or Cheech and Chong or something like that. It's that kind of bizarre humor. It's quite clear that this was meant to be bizarre, and it works. I liked the movie. I'd give it a 9 out of 10, actually. So I'm very, very glad that people recommended it. Now, would you like some sausage, Daddy? NKFD, it's a train wreck of a movie. Just crazy nonsense. Yeah, but sometimes you want a crazy nonsense movie. Doesn't make any sense. There's really no plot line or anything like that. It's just a bunch of weird situational slapstick. And it's fucking hilarious, actually. Sigil, I'm leaning towards Trump wants it covered up. What scared Cash and Mongino so much? Because Trump was part of doing the blackmailing. No, I do not believe that. We will be talking about that separately. Copium Poppies, so you finally watched Freddy Got Fingered. Now we have to bug you to watch it again. I probably will. It was a good movie. Yeah, I think that's... If it's not one of my top 10 movies, it's at least in the top 50. That was pretty funny. It's in the same vein. Again, if you liked like Pineapple Express, American Psycho, and Clockwork Orange, if you combine them all together, you kind of get this movie. It's very, 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 very strange, actually. But it was good. I liked it. I'm not a huge Tom Green fan, but as far as this movie goes, it was pretty fucking funny. I like bizarre humor. I was like, I don't even know what the fuck is happening in this movie. And I like it sometimes when I watch a movie like that and you're like, what the hell is going on? There is no plot. There's no attempt to create a plot. I think that's the plot. That's the whole point. Now everyone's going to ask me if I would like some sausage. I already had some Angus earlier, actually, from Anton's. In fact, let's talk about our sponsors before we continue. Then we can get to the news. Trust me, the Hunter Biden bit is going to be fucking hilarious. If you haven't seen the video, just wait, just a few moments. Let me read out the sponsors first, and then I'll refer you to the article. We have cultivated-mind.com, where you can get mushroom pills, of course. They will invigorate you. They are good for you, I guess. They work for me, so just an anecdote, but they've also got doggo snacks now. And the pupper snacks, they seem to be very good, like A-plus class quality, because the doggo wouldn't stop staring at the bag when I gave the doggo snacks. They have 6 double extracted mushroom extracts. So you've got the reishi, you've got the shaga, and so forth. The lion's mane, I believe, is in there. And acts as a mild sedative, actually, for your doggo. But, I mean, they're not going to be able to get enough of it, so you're going to probably want to buy multiple bags. Just saying. BiltongUSA.com. Every time we mention Anton, we must eat Bovrite, by the way. He can get you Bovrite, Marmite, and Vegemite. Also Wagyu, Angus, Carbonaceae, bison, venison, pretty much every other meat known to man. If it is mammalian in nature, you've probably got it. Shredded or in stick form. Stick. It's pretty funny. Also, Stick, Sex, and Hammer mugs, tumblers, and shirts are available as well. And finally, of course, jamandbean.com. That's where we get our coffee. The Clank blend. The best blend. All the other blends are good too. I'm not knocking them. I'm just saying I'm partial to the one that is Clank related. Also, a bunch of tea is available too. I've still got a buildup of tea. I've got to have like a tea party or some shit like that. I'm thinking about having like a Clanker tea party. We'll have tea and coffee and Anton's fare, his meat and spreads and so forth. And then mushroom pills on tap. That would be kind of fun, actually. Have a get-together. Godzilla 1, eating some Angus Reaper at the moment. Yeah, that's a good one. Copium Poppies, no plotline? He went from a wannabe animator mooching off his parents to being a real animator who sold his cartoon for $1 million and got the hot wheelchair chick. Yeah, I know. But it's all fucked up along the way. A lot of it doesn't make sense. But I liked it. Sigil, now you have to record yourself wearing your dad's scuba suit and diving into the toilet. Alright. One tall order. Sticks, if you're not aware, the DOJ is putting forward a rule to restore gun rights to certain felons and other persons who have been convicted of disqualifying offenses, for your information. Good to know. Thank you. I know you've been strong on this issue for a while. P.S. She wanna hop in a Rari. Don't make me start singing Kanye. Cooking Inferno. Sticks, if you didn't catch it, Jerome Powell has been referred to the DOJ for criminal investigation for perjury. I did see that, actually. Sigil, no scones and jam? Fucking Philistine. I like scones, actually. Copium Poppies. Doesn't mean there isn't a plot. Yeah, it's just that the plot is nuts. Again, I'm not saying that I don't enjoy it. I thought it was hysterical. I gave the movie a 9 out of 10 for a reason. Robert Jenkins, you been to the islands yet? North-South hero. I'm headed there next week to hunt for bass, pike, and champ TV. Yeah, no. I have been to the islands in Lake Champlain. In fact, one time we took a school trip, and it was just on a trawler. And the dude made a really, really good potato soup, potato leek soup, and I enjoyed that heavily. And we landed on one of the little islands that was, right in Lake Champlain, and sort of, fooled around for the day. It's pretty fun. Splifferton, cannabis scones are just called stones. Yeah, man. The Wanderer, Tarl, pave your driveway. No, it's done over in gravel, actually. Do you want to visit me in Southern Oregon? I own property. We can go fishing and then have a barbecue afterwards. That actually sounds really fun. Yeah, I like fishing. I'm just not terribly great at fishing. Just so you know. Sigil, at this tea party of yours, would you have some sausage? Would you have some sausage? Would you have some sausages? Yeah, that would become the new meme. I'll set up the Casio and have some strings attached to it and dangle the sausages around and people can eat them, I guess. That would be fucking funny. Anyways, we do have to get to a little bit of news today. Mostly this is going to be a bant stream, but there are a couple of things that must be talked about. Hunter Biden, for those of you that didn't know, like, 1% of you, went completely insane during a YouTube interview. I'm going to read a bit of this verbatim, by the way. An enraged Hunter Biden ranted against fucking dictator thug President Trump over his policy of deporting violent illegal immigrants to notorious El Salvadoran prison complex and mused about invading the Latin American country if he were in office. This is not a joke. This is verbatim. This is his quote. I would pick up the phone and call the president in El Salvador and say, you either fucking send them back or I'm going to fucking invade. The former first son, 55, fumed in an interview with YouTube personality Andrew Callaghan released Monday. It was ill-advised that he did this interview, by the way. It's a fucking crime what they're doing. He goes off, he's constantly swearing. He's back on the sauce again. Hunter Biden is on drugs. There is no other explanation for the way in which he canted in this particular interview. Watch it for yourself. Go ahead, watch the full fucking interview if you want. It's on Callaghan's channel. It's also been replicated elsewhere. He goes crazy. He's fucking nuts. What I'm thinking is, though, here's my analysis. This is more evidence that Joe Biden has flipped his lid and doesn't know what the fuck is going on. The fact that he allowed Hunter Biden to stage such an interview, presumptively knowing that he was back on the sauce, back on Sleazy's crack. Well, he can't afford that. He has to get it from some back alley somewhere. At this point, the fact that he had to have known that his son is drunk and high, which he clearly was in this particular interview. He was on some good shit. Why would you let him go out and represent effectively you and your brand in the corporate and political sense? Why would you do that? It made absolutely no sense. When I saw this, at first I thought, okay, it can't be that bad. Okay, the right-wing media that doesn't like Hunter Biden anyway, they're just seeking to crucify someone again. It's clickbait. It's not clickbait. Not even close. Hunter Biden goes nuts. He's insane, actually. He's clearly on multiple drugs. Copium Poppies, Clanker meetup in Oregon. Sticks, make it happen. I would like to visit there. I would definitely need some Clanker backup because if I get anywhere near Portland or any place like that, I'd probably just get assaulted. B-list history. Oh, you have hemophilia? That's cute. I have hemophobia. Stop bleeding or I'll call HR, bigot. Also, come to clankers.net. Yeah, if we have a meetup, it might be here. Could be in Texas. Could be at Anton's in Roanoke. Could be in Oregon. Hell, I could have multiple of them, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, we could have Anton's meat and plenty of tea and coffee on tap. Have to bring a drip filtration system, I suppose. Make a big-ass batch. And then some mushroom pills and shit. Sigil. The Bidens don't care. Their political endeavors are over. There's no way to carry on their legacy. They've just checked out now. Yeah, I agree with that, but it's still... I don't understand. Like, Biden's probably going to write a memoir or something like that and make extra money. Why would you trot out your crackhead son to... say fuck over and over. Basically, that's the entire interview. These fucking criminals. That fucking shit. I fucking hate them. Real poignant. When I watched the clip of the interview, I was laughing my ass off, though. It's almost like he's one of those people that he's evil. But he's also funny at the same time. And so you find it a little bit hard to actually hate them because they're at least amusing. And you're like, look at this washed up wreck. He's clearly on drugs. Come on. Don't bullshit me. He's on crack in this interview. He's on crack. He's probably drunk. And there may be a couple of other substances meandering around in there somewhere. Marijuana comes to mind, other things. You never know with Hunter. Apparently, he can get so high that he starts snorting Parmesan cheese. So yeah, I think that we have a relapse moment. Copium Poppies. I'll show you the best pizza place ever if you make it in Eugene, Oregon. It's gonna have to compete with Pizza Luna down in Louisiana. That's going to be very, very difficult. And that one place I was at in Sloterdijk in the Netherlands, which had amazing fucking pizza. Got Domino's the first night when I was there with Liz. And it was like, the Domino's there doesn't really do a good job. I'm sorry to say, the Domino's here in Rutland is pretty good, but a lot of Domino's, they really, yeah. But then there was this one pizza place in Sloterdijk, in this very, very hipsterish area, by the way, near the Mercer Hotel. It was right across the street, actually. And they had some of the best fucking pizza that I've ever had. I got it with the extra cheese, extra sauce, lots and lots of mushrooms, and it was pretty great. It was made the original Italian style. You can get that more in Europe. Yeah, normally in the United States, you're either getting Brooklyn style or you're getting Chicago style. But if you go to Europe, you can get it like made by actual Italians. And so it's not going to be fully even. They're not going to do like the fucking stuffed crust bullshit or anything like that. It's going to be like an authentic pan-made, hand-fired pizza. And it's pretty great, actually. Bobby Bobbinson, you stealing my spot, bitch. Sigil, I don't think they trotted him out. I think they said, fuck it, do whatever you want, we don't give a fuck. And he's too high and stupid to see the red flags. You might very well be right. What do fuck? What varieties of tomatoes did you plant this year? Just a few cherry tomatoes this year. My new favorite is Sungold with a yellow cherry, not having any luck with heirlooms. I just love tomatoes, honestly. Copium poppies, I'm sure it will kick their asses. Ah, King of Biltong is there. When Anton arrives, we must always do our due diligence. I enjoy that several times a day. Oh no, I don't consider it too salty. It does have a salty flavor, but it's not overwhelming or anything like that. Happy Monday, Anton! That's what I'm talking about. Great guy. Maybe I'll try a little bit more Marmite. This one, if you want to buy one of these, the Bovrite that the South Africans make is definitely the best. Vegemite's great as a spread on toast, though. And Marmite, it has a little bit of a weird aftertaste to it. Like, the front line of the flavor is good, but then it segues into an aftertaste. I can't really quantify it. It's a little bit on the bitter side or something like that. It's just the British just didn't figure it out as well as the South Africans or the Australians did. It's rather sad. There are probably other variations of it too. Bobby, Bovrite is where it's at. I'm going to go on a Bovrite only diet for 6 months. Splifferton, Anton should make a vag flavored one and call it Vagrite. You know, if you were to actually make something niche like that, you could probably sell it to the rich and vapid for like $1,000 a bottle, and you could probably make money off of it. Just saying. I mean, there was that one chick, Belle Delphine, she sold her bath water that may have not even had her in it. And she probably made a couple $100,000 selling possibly bathwater. And apparently one person splashed it all over their face and got pink eye from it, which means she may have actually been in there. Yeah, vagina scented. Who was that bitch that sold the vagina scented candle that time? And of course, it wasn't actually vagina scented, but it was like, this candle smells like my vagina or something like that. Who was it? Was that Barbara Streisand? Who was that? Paltrow, Gwyneth Paltrow. Yeah, I think it was her. And I was like laughing my ass off when I saw that story. Now, let's get to something a little bit more serious, just for a moment. Then we'll go back to Bance. Miranda Devine. Trump wins the Epstein battle, as the left media foolishly believe president is on the skids. I mostly agree with this, but not completely. Trump needs to come out, and he needs to tell the American people, I disagree with the FBI report on Jeffrey Epstein. I do not believe that he killed himself. I do believe that he blackmailed people, and we'll get you the information, but we can't release it right now. We have to do a thorough investigation. This thing can take years, by the way. We need to do that. It'll take some time. That's what he should do. He should have immediately countermanded the FBI, because everybody knows that Patel and Bongino are straight out lying when they say, no, there was no client list. The list that Pam Bondi told you existed doesn't actually exist. Yeah, we've burned it in a waste paper basket probably by now, but it's probably still, there's a copy somewhere. I'm sure that they can find it. And the idea that Epstein didn't blackmail anyone, are you joking me? Really? You expect me to believe that? Yeah. Why don't you try to sell me a bridge and see how far that goes? Sigil, it was Paltrow. Yes, Gwyneth Paltrow. Copium poppies, so when are you going to snort the powdered biltong? Did Anton send it yet? No, he has not sent me the biltong powder yet, but when it does come, I'm going to... Apparently I'll be snorting biltong powder. Sometimes I make rash decisions. Opinionated junkie, CNN poll, Trump losing on immigration. Yeah, but that's a CNN poll, so I'm not going to take it seriously. Unless I see it aggregated on RCP, I don't take polls seriously at all. I ignore them completely. Yeah, the problem with the Epstein story, I don't believe that Donald Trump went and fucked a 14-year-old. I don't believe that. I don't believe that he even went to Epstein Island. In fact, 20 years ago, and long before Epstein was even charged with anything, he forced him off of his properties. Unlike Bill Gates and a few of these other people, you will notice that they are not mentioned in these news articles, not without good reason. Trump forced him out of his properties because he was perving on an underage worker there, and Trump found out about it. She contacted him, and he said, look, you're not allowed on my properties anymore. He broke off all contact with the dude. He did that decades ago. The left is obsessed with trying to nail Trump to Epstein, after 4 years of pretending that Epstein never existed at all. This is very, very telling. This is a form of psychological projection. They know that people like Biden were the ones that were going to Epstein Island. But they can't deal with that fact, and there's no counter to it, politically speaking. So they're trying to, shave it off on Donald Trump and implicate him. Even though he was the only one that disowned Epstein. He was the only one that did that. All of the other rich and powerful people kept partying with him, even after they knew that he was a pedophile. So yeah, it's a big problem. As far as immigration goes, I don't think that Donald Trump is losing on immigration. I think that there have been a couple of heavy-handed incidents that probably didn't ingratiate him to the public, but keep in mind where that public is. Think about demographics for a moment. Oh God, I have to do this for a fucking living. Where are they located? Deep blue states that are disproportionately impacted by the ICE raids. Everyone else is having a great time. So these are people that would never support the GOP to begin with, by and large. These are people that live in, urban communities. They're very blue, they're very democratic. They're not part of Trump's constituency. They do control the legacy media, though, so naturally you're going to get a bunch of negative news and negative polling with regards to the issue. The Wanderer. Tarl, get your ass out of that shit-colored, decrepit shack and get over to Southern Oregon, Josephine County, right now. Let's have tea and eat Bovrite. This will probably happen. At the moment, I have to rebuild my cash reserves a bit. After taxes and legal fees and things like that, I'm a little bit dry at the moment, so travel is a little bit more hard. I would like to see Oregon, though. I want to see some of the Oregon trail sites like Independence Rock and Chimney Rock before they degrade away as people chip away at them. Because they're morons. Sigil Stone. Oh, so how did your minor surgery go to remove 2 of your ribs so you can suck your own dick? No, actually I had a wound from kitchen work. I dropped the knife, it hit my leg, and it pretty much scalloped it. And it bled quite a bit. I ended up having to apply a pressure bandage, actually. It's better now. It's no longer bleeding, at least. Copium Poppies. Kicking him off his property just sounds like damage control. He's still complicit. He wouldn't be covering for the clients if he wasn't implicated. Remember, Trump also owned child pageants and was very creepy with his daughter on top of his association with Epstein. Now, here's what happened. Donald Trump is not a pedophile. He seems to be into big boobied women in the college age range, or something like that. That seems to be his particular forte. He's got his type. He seems to like blondes a lot. But anyway, no, Trump did not molest his daughter. He didn't get creepy with people at the child pageants. Now, what happened is that he's implicated because he did party with Epstein. But that was during a period where he was in between marriages. Epstein set people up with females, and he was known as a party boy. Trump was known as a playboy at that time. He slept with all sorts of people. He probably has a body count in the triple-digit range. But I doubt that any of them were minors at the time. He seems to be into big boobied chicks more than anything else. I mean, you've got billions of dollars. You can tell a girl, look, I'll get you a new car if you just spend the weekend with me. And you drop that money like it's nothing because you're a multi-billionaire. That's the life that Trump was living back in the 1980s. But then he kicked Epstein out of his life entirely, which shows, his non-culpability. I would think if he was really rope-a-doped into a blackmail scheme or something like that, Epstein would say, hey, I want you to come over for the weekend. Trump would say, well, I'm not up to it. And Epstein would say, no, I'm telling you, you're coming over for the weekend. We're making another video, or something like that. He seems to have been some sort of bizarre sexual mastermind, actually. Oh, I think that my uncle's here. Ha! Copium Poppies! The fact he was involved with child pageants at all is creepy, and he's on camera creeping on his daughter. He never crept on his daughter. That did not happen. As far as the child pageants, I will agree with you on one thing. I disagree with the existence of those pageants. They are sexualizing children, or at the very least, forcing them to perform. Usually you have an overbearing mother that's the one that's involved with dressing them up and like a little dog or something like that. I consider it weird. So I wouldn't want to be involved with such a thing. Does that mean that Donald Trump fucked a kid? No, it does not. It means that he was involved in show business. That's all. But I do agree with you. I'm averse to child pageants. I think that they're tasteless. It's like Honey Boo Boo, who apparently now has a show and shit. I never liked that. I was never interested in child pageantry. I thought it tasteless and crude. It's basically mom has gone over menopause and is no longer attractive and is using her daughter effectively as nothing more than a Bichon Frise. Like a show dog or something like that. I just find it horrendous. Copium poppies. How can you deny he was creeping on his daughter? There are pictures. Well, there are pictures of me holding my daughter close. Doesn't mean that I'm perving on her. It means that this is my daughter. I'm allowed to. I'm dada. It doesn't need to be sexual or anything like that. No, Donald Trump never did jack shit with his daughter. I've seen the pictures that you're referring to. He's not perving on her. Yeah, he kisses his daughter. Oh my god, what a sin. I would be more upset if he didn't do that. And be like, you never kiss your daughter. Are you projecting or something? Child pageants are not show business. They are for pedos to creep on kids. Yeah, no, I agree with you on that one. That's why I oppose the very existence of child pageants. No, I fully agree with you on that. I think that they should be banned. Because usually, 90% of the time, it seems to be some troubled mom with weird issues mentally, taking her daughter and putting her to the fore as though it was a projection of the mother. And that's kind of creepy, honestly. So I wouldn't get involved in anything like that. But the fact that Trump invested in child pageants, that's just business work. Yeah, but he's not a creeper. If anything, we should be looking into Joe Biden based on Ashley Biden's diary. The one that they inadvertently proved actually existed. Yeah, that was an interesting take. Copium, she was an adult sitting on his lap wearing a skimpy outfit after a certain age that just isn't done. If the father is a pervert, then I can see why that would be problematic. But let's say that my daughter was here right now, wearing a swimsuit or something, sitting on my lap. Would this be an indication that I was perving on her? No, she's my daughter. The indicator is that I'm not perving on her because that would be completely taboo in every way, and I wouldn't be interested in it. I don't think that Trump ever did anything with his daughter. I don't think that that ever happened. The Wanderer, you've said too much. No, what I'm saying is that if a parent is with a child, regardless of how they're dressed, it's not going to be a sexual situation unless they've got something wrong with them. Now, with the Biden family, we know that there's something wrong there. We've got evidence of it. We've got the fucking diary. With the Trump family, we've got no complaint against Donald Trump of any kind that he ever did anything wrong. We have no indicator that he did anything of an untoward type. And I don't believe that he did. There are a lot of pedos in D.C. Yeah. You remember the famous pizza parlor incident that never got fully explained and was just cast off as a conspiracy theory and things like that. Some of these people are genuinely fucked up. I wish I could tell you that one personal story that I've got about one fairly high-ranking individual who made relatively creepy comments about me eventually having a daughter and so forth. I would tell you that story, but I'll wait till they're dead, because I don't think that they're actually doing anything. I just think it's some weird fantasy of theirs. Second mouse, why are you ignoring my questions? Oh, you're replying to somebody else. Copium poppies, why do you insist on giving Trump the benefit of the doubt? Well, because there's no real solid evidence. With Biden, we've got an entry from a 10-year-old saying, yeah, he was taking naked showers with me and stuff like that, and I felt it inappropriate. Well, that's pretty telling now, isn't it? With Donald Trump, we've got a handful of photos of him sitting with his daughter and kissing her. What father doesn't kiss his daughter? It's perfectly normal. It's perfectly acceptable. It doesn't have to be in a romantic sense. Sigil, did you really read my last rant? I was busy listening to a coworker about how things are getting fucked around here. A grinder is seized, the forklift won't go drive, and someone left early. Fun. Well, that fucking sucks. Did I read it? Oh, yeah, the minor surgery one. Yeah, it went well, but I wasn't removing my ribs. I had to redress a wound on my leg because I dropped a kitchen knife, unfortunately, and scalloped my skin. And it began bleeding very heavily because apparently I pierced a minor artery. Whoops. No, people that think that I have a problem with the quartering, you're gonna have to wait in line, because I don't have a problem with the dude. Bailed me out of jail. Been a good dude. He doesn't want me on the stream, or he can't afford to have me on the stream. I'm not gonna complain about that shit. Yeah, good luck setting up some sort of weird creator feud. Rumble is lagging. I know what Dave says. 92 Cat. You finally watched Freddy Got Fingered. I'm so proud, Sticks. Great movie. Beyond good. Copium poppies. There doesn't have to be. He's a rich, powerful dude with the ability to cover his tracks and still hasn't been able to cover all of his tracks. Furthermore, he's covering for the Epstein clients. I think that you'll see different in time. But the coverage... let me explain. I think that he's setting a ticking time bomb for the people that were on the Epstein list, expecting to destroy them all, one by one, which I agree with completely. They should be just fucking guillotined. But he also knows that he can't release the list now. The problem is that the Trump administration went along with the FBI's lie, which is completely incredulous, saying, oh, there is no client list. I think that they did this to bluff the people that they're currently investigating. So I understand the methodology. This is like deep rabbit hole legalese at this point. I can understand, but it's still wrong. You need to come out to the public, tell us, yes, there's a client list. Now, that means that some of the people on the client list will immediately lawyer up, they will flee, and so forth. You might lose a few of them. But to give the public closure, you're going to need to do that. In my opinion, the Trump administration should just quite literally say, yeah, there's a client list. Yeah, there's blackmail going on. Everyone knows this anyway, and 99% of sane people anyway. And the FBI is wrong, so Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, bye. You can fuck yourselves. That would be the best thing to do in order to grandstand before the public, draw attention to the issue, get people focused on it, and then slowly you're going to be able to release the client list and so forth, which we know that it exists. They're making a mistake, but it's a well-intentioned one. This is the only reason, by the way, why I give the Trump administration a bit of a pass on the issue. Their intention is to assuage the problems, the psychological problems that people that are on the list, and know that they're on the list, have. They're trying to catch them off guard. But the public's not going to realize this. That's the whole problem. What happens is that you can either tell the public, yeah, we got the list. It is on Pam Bondi's table. Everyone on that list begins burning their papers, crippling their hard drives in the microwave. They begin lawyering up and everything else and clamming up and not talking to anyone. What you want them to do is retain all of that material and make them implicate themselves. That way it makes your job a whole lot easier, but it's not going to look good to the public, and that's what I hope that Donald Trump is doing. As far as the FBI goes, though, it is beyond the pale to deny that the Epstein client list exists, because quite clearly it does, because it was on Pam Bondi's desk. I mean, by God. Sigil, even better about work. The company owner's dad died over the weekend, so he's gonna be thrilled to hear so much shit broke in one day, and none of it is cheap. Yeah, that sounds like a shit situation, honestly. This happens all the time, by the way. Bobby Bobbinson Sticks, the quartering is saying that he's gonna drown you in jambalaya next time you're in NOLA. I have no problem with this. It'd be a good way to die. As long as after I drown in the jambalaya, he manages to eat some of it. If he doesn't, then the clankers will fall in. Copium poppies. If he had the list, just black bag them in the middle of the night with no warning and then announce them. We have the NDAA and the indefinite detention provision. Those vermin are terrorists. While I would like to do something like that, I can understand why Donald Trump, for legal reasons, would not do such a thing. Second mouse. Oh, so you can read comments? Yes, I do it all the time. It's one of my favorite things. This is one of the highlights of my day, actually. The Wander. Oh, Tarl, I was wondering if you could show off your family tree. I wanted to compare to mine for accuracy. I'd have to ask my uncle, actually. He's got the original file. I don't have it on backup. Yeah, it goes back to, like, I don't know, the 1500s or some shit. Spifferton. Les Wexner. Who is he in bed with? Probably everyone. Dude, that dude was notorious even among known perverts like Howard Stern. Yeah, I would love to go out to the Northwest, assuming that the time of year was good. If you go when it's too hot, there's a shit ton of mosquitoes. If you go when it's too cold, you get blizzards and shit. In between, it sounds quite nice. Copium poppies, fuck legal reasons. He's the president, he's immune. Every president committing crimes and not going to jail is proof of that. I know. You're preaching to the choir. We fundamentally agree on all of these ideological issues. It's just a matter of how you address them. You have to be strategic and pragmatic. Set traps for your enemies and then crush them completely. Donald Trump appears to be doing that. It could be that he's taken a hands-off approach. That would be regrettable. If that happens and it becomes clear, I'll have to criticize him for that. But it appears that he's setting a trap for some of these people. And if he can nail them, it's going to be legendary. Let's eat some Vegemite, shall we? It's always a good day for Vegemite. Wish I had a couple pieces of toast, actually. I need to get a toaster in here. Sigil, speaking of New Orleans, did you investigate what I said about the giant bugs and visit a cemetery at sunset? I saw lots of big bugs and lizards and all sorts of other crazy shit. But I didn't visit a cemetery at sunset. I'd like to, though. King of Biltong, taste our authentic Angus and Wagyu beef biltong. Premium air-dried with bold, savory flavors. High-protein, low-carb snack. Order now at www.biltongusa.com. Use code STICKS for 10% off. By the way, I do strongly suggest that you buy some from them. Lou Frigno. The courts are corrupt and need to be abolished with force. Yeah, I would agree with you. I've seen this firsthand. They are indeed very corrupt. Copium poppies. No, you metaphorically sodomize the Epstein clients with the iron dick of the tyranny they implemented against the American people. Well, I'm not averse to that either. There are plenty of people that need to be punished. Ghislaine Maxwell did not traffic people to nobody. We know that this went on. People at least as young as 13, 14 were indicated here. And the government is saying, well, we're not going to release any of this info because the victims might be negatively impacted. You think that anyone in the American public of sound mind is going to blame a 13-year-old for getting trafficked, drugged, and raped? That doesn't make sense to me. I certainly wouldn't blame them. I would feel sorry for them. Release the goddamn list. I realize you have to continue your investigations, but don't deny that the list exists. Say, we've got the list. We know who did what, but we have to investigate further. We have to investigate in order to gain evidence to wage legal cases. That's all you have to fucking say. But the Trump administration, unfortunately on this one, it has flubbed. Bobby. Sticks, the quartering just said that if Bobby Bobbinson doesn't start trolling his channel, that he's gonna send people to your chat to spam it to oblivion. Thoughts? They're already spamming it to oblivion. That's hysterical. Desert Sky. Bobby, if you know the quartering is after Sticks, the cops will want to talk to you. Yeah, no, this is all just memes. Copium poppies. They can't delete evidence if they are being tortured in Gitmo. Good point. You are technically correct. Yeah, the quartering is a great guy. I don't understand why so many people dislike him. It's probably just sour grapes or something like that. He's got his own coffee company. Now, I may be partial to my own coffee, made by Jam & Bee. But I have tried coffee brand coffee, and it is pretty good, so yeah. I ain't throwing no shade, man. Tarred and feathered, never forget that quartering tried hard to raid Sticks last week. I was not appraised of this situation. I like the dude. Bobby, can you give me some sort of corroboration of the claim that the quartering fucking hates me or something like that? Because I talked to him not long ago. He's never given me any insult at all. He cut me loose, but he did the same to Gothics and several of his staffers, so, I figured, when you take out hundreds of thousands of dollars on loan to build a coffee company, maybe you can't afford to pay so many employees. I'm well aware of the fact that he said that I was drunk on the stream. It was not true. I was simply exhausted, but I don't care how he interpreted it. It's his fucking channel. Who cares? Sigil, I hate this. We have to investigate for 5 years. Bullshit. If you got someone fucking a kid on tape, And you go grab the motherfucker. You get them on tape fucking a kid. What's to investigate? Yeah, but that's the thing. We don't know that their tapes actually exist. They could have been destroyed by the Biden administration, possibly because Joe Biden might have been one of the perps. So I have a feeling that those are gone. Copium poppies, legal cases are irrelevant. The law will be lenient and incapable of giving the proper punishment because of laws against cruel and unusual punishment. Justice will not be had in the legal system. King of Biltong, on a more serious note, if you and Jeremy are going to send messages across to each other, live chats via subscribers, you might as well be on his show again. Oh, I would gladly join back up. Yeah, I would gladly rejoin the show. It was a fun time. I had great fun on Jeremy's show. Recording's great. But I never know 100% what is false and what is true that I'm being relayed in real time. That's the whole problem. Like somebody will say, oh, Jeremy decided he was into lollies, moved to Japan, and then, disappeared. Or something like that. I don't know if it's true. I have no way of knowing. Fireburn. Are you gonna beg him to join his stupid stream? It's not stupid. We had a great time together. Yeah, I figured that, Anton. I figured that it was bullshit. I have a feeling that some people are trying to drive a wedge between me and the quartering in order to prevent me from ever getting back on his show. To ruin me financially. While it will not accomplish that task, it would be fun to be back on the show. Sigil, Bondi said, we can't release most of the evidence because it's just child porn, indicating video evidence, or at least photos. Then again, she also said the list was on her desk. Yeah, she's got the list, she's got other material of an unfortunate nature. I guarantee that it exists. They cannot release the video evidence. It involves minors. You can't release it to the public. You'd literally be publishing child porn. So that's out the window. You can release the client list, but until you actually investigate the clients, that's a bad idea legally, because then you fucked your own case up. I understand all of these things. I'm just asking the Trump administration to have better messaging with regards to the public of why it can't release it. Simply saying, if we release this, it will prejudice any jury, it will create a mistrial, and these people will not be brought to justice. So we're going to keep this close to our chest for the moment, and we will look into it, and in due time, you will get justice, and these people will be put in prison. That's all you have to say. That's literally all you have to say. But they really haven't done that. That's the problem. Opinionated Junkie, what did Quartering think of your conviction? I take the fifth on this particular issue. My communications with other content creators are sacrosanct. I don't talk about them with anyone. Not unless they're very, very close to me. Copium poppies. The victims can be censored out completely, only showing the predators. Yeah, but that's still a legal problem. Then they know that they're actually in legal hell. And so, again, they'll take those countermeasures that I noted before. Burn the papers, burn the CDs, get rid of the computers, lawyer up. They'll defend themselves. What you want is to take them unaware so that they can't defend themselves. Sigil, I don't like the thing about paying people to be on your stream. Revenue sharing is one thing, but basically being an employee without upfront saying so feels so disingenuous and dirty. Well, the quartering was paying me pretty well, honestly. Actually, more than I expected originally. He's a good dude. He's just got his own business ventures that he's working on, and he's got to tend to those. I don't blame him in any way, shape, or form. I would do the same thing. You think if I invest several $100,000 in a coffee company or something like that, and I'm like, shit, I can't really pay all of the people that I'm paying. I'm gonna have to let a couple people go. You think that I feel anything about that? It's my job. It's what I have to do. I don't have a choice. It's all good. Copium poppies. Fuck the law. That's what I'm talking about. Here, let me go offline for a minute here so I can take a piss, please. And I'll be right back. All right, I am back. Why is the Wanderer rambling about my car? Wanderer, are you stalking me? There's no car falling apart on my lawn. I don't know what address you went to. Certainly wasn't mine. Copium poppies, they can't lawyer up and defend themselves from Guantanamo Bay. That is true. It's just a matter of going through the judiciary. Sigil, I understand making money, but still, it works for Lotus Eaters because we know they're Sargon's employees. They say it all the time. They're more like an actual media company. Yeah, Sargon's got a good thing going on. He was the one that first gave me my real break. When he did his due diligence video, God, I added 14,000 subscribers in 2 or 3 days after that. Yeah. The Wanderer, 444 Chisana. Yes, that is my address, indeed. I'm wondering, have you been stalking me or something? It's okay if you did. I mean, that's fine. I just wish you would tell me. AP, how would you rate Trump on dealing with FEMA? It's been 3 years since the Hermit's Peak fire started in northern New Mexico due to U.S. Forest Service prescribed burns with little to no restitution. He's done all right with FEMA. Mostly, his victories have been in the area of tax relief, number one, the border, that's a big one, and diplomacy. With FEMA, it's going to take a little bit longer because you've got to understand the regulatory system in the United States. It is very complex, extremely convoluted. And so it's very, very difficult for any singular individual to axe an agency, even fire somebody, or doing anything, basically. Sigil, paying people to be on stream beyond revenue share feels dirty. It's moving to the top. Because what if Jeremy says some egregious shit? Are you going to risk that money or push back? Well, I mean, if he were to outright insult me, I would respond to it, but he hasn't done that. Copium poppies. That's the point of indefinite detention provision. You don't have to go through the judiciary. Why do you keep circling back to the courts when there is a way to bypass them altogether? Yeah, I mean, the problem is that the courts might injunct that particular provision. We've seen so far in the Trump administration that basically the liberals have been reduced to using the courts to try to stop him. State Supreme Courts, federal courts, whatever it happens to be. That's what they've been reduced to. They don't have the judiciary in the SCOTUS sense. They don't have the executive branch. They don't have the House. They don't have the Senate. So there's only one thing left for them to do. Slow things down and hope for a better midterms. That's basically their ground game. Sigil, it's basically just paying for hype men. True. Animate Acumen, ahoy! 2:25 p.m. EST, slow day with 3 calls to IT. Nice. Slow days are always good days when you're at work. Yeah, I'm just going to chain up Bobby Bobbinson in the front yard, and he can attack anyone that approaches. And will infect him with rabies. He'll be foaming at the mouth, just go crazy. I have actually had stalkers. Actually fucked a couple of them. But, yeah. Copium poppies, then ignore the courts. They have no enforcement power. I know, they don't. But you still have to litigate because their power is effectively unbridled pending a Supreme Court decision. And so if the executive or legislative branches attempt to countermand them, there's not really a lot that they can do. This is a problem, by the way, that's being addressed within our legal system. Fireburn, fix your stream. I haven't done anything wrong. I didn't know that there was a problem with Rumble Stream. I can try to. It could be a Rumble problem. It's a YouTube stream as well. It's choppy. Let me check this. I'll do the best that I can. Now that's connected. Uncle Sham. Yeah, that's probably just the Vermont internet, guys. This backwater shithole doesn't even have 1 million residents. I've got Fidium. Jesus H. Christ. It might be defaulting to the other internet. Let me check. No, it's on the right. So that can't be the problem. Yeah, I've got 1 gig, so I've got pretty good internet here, actually. Sigil. Jeremy's just a relevant example, but my point is in general. Every time you're being paid to be on stream, you say so once, you're on camera, and how much. If that's a problem, then ponder why. When you came back from the pisser, your stream got all jittery and shit. I'll try to take care of it. Please, everyone, give me a moment. Copium poppies. The executive branch is what enforces the law. If they ignore the courts, all the courts can do is shake their fists at clouds. Oh, fuck. Right. I will try to take care of this. Moment. Oh, I see what's the problem. That should be better. Is it better now? Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Better? Okay, good. Yeah, for some bizarre reason, it switched out to the Brio, actually. That was odd and unexpected. Crispy, I've already donated 8 of his laptop campaigns. Yeah, that should be a bit better, at least. I don't know. I've been having audio issues lately. What I need to do is I need to get a new microphone, quite clearly, and hook it up. And I've also got a couple of other things that I need to purchase. And I gotta get my phone repaired because that's a little bit fucked up. Sigil Stone, it's not better. Shit. Spocko, the Supreme Court wasn't a problem for Andrew Jackson. Let me go out and go back in and see what I can do. I'll try to reconnect it. We're gonna hope that this works. Otherwise, it'll destroy the stream, and it'll be like getting a nuclear bomb in your lap. Give me a moment. Alright, we're gonna see if that works a little bit better. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Looks good on my end. Let's see how it sounds on your end. The Wander. It's worse. I'm hoping that you're just trolling. Same thing, it's still cutting out. Let's check this. Can't be a problem on that end. And it can't be a problem on this end. Alright. I'm going to go offline, and I'm going to try to figure out the audio problems and buy a new microphone, probably. Hello, Frank. Yeah. Let me try to reset it. Sometimes that works. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Is that better? Yeah, we've got some tech issues at the moment. Pre-59 Cuban, trust me, you don't want to update Windows at this point. Pixie, much better. Okay, muy bueno. Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, I had to reset the webcam. Oh, nope. Shit. Yeah, it's difficult because I usually drag my rig back to the bedroom because I want to watch movies and shit at night. And then I reinsert everything here in the morning. And so sometimes it functions a little bit better than other times. Like I've gotten into the habit of recording like a test 1, 2, 3 video in the morning, and then I'll listen to it to make sure that there's audio at all, let alone good audio. But I'm gonna have to get a new microphone, I believe. Okay. Most people are saying that the audio is okay. That's all I need. It could be glitchy on your end too. That's always possible. It's just generally speaking, I've got really high-speed internet here, so there shouldn't be any glitches on my end. It's just that my hardware, unfortunately, occasionally decides not to function properly. Sigil, delete system 32. It's causing your problems. I'm aware of this joke too. Yeah, apparently it's glitching out and having problems. I'm just gonna go offline. I will have to recalibrate everything and probably get a new microphone. Then I'll be back tomorrow with more videos, more live streams, more fun. I will be back then. I'll do my docketing and so forth. The Wanderer doesn't want me to leave. I'm sorry, Wanderer. We can talk soon. Bye, everyone. That's about all. Peace out.